Well, welcome everyone. Our presentation today will cover Gilman McCain, and CNLA scholarships, which are scholarships to study or intern abroad. Grace and I will be the presenters. And Grace, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Grace. I'm a fourth-year French major, and I am a Gilman Scholar. I received the Gilman Scholarship this past cycle.
And my name is Will Cillier. I am the Associate Director for International Programs and Scholarships at the International Education Office, IEO. This Gilman Scholarship presentation is part of our Global Learning Opportunities Week, or GLOW. So let's get started. The Benjamin A. Gilman Scholarship is a program of the U.S. Department of State with funding provided by the U.S. government. The goal of this scholarship is to increase mutual understanding and respect between the people of the United States and people of other countries. Gilman awards over 3,000 scholarships per academic year, and this includes Gilman McCain and NCLA. Generally, 1 in 4 students are awarded the scholarship, but at UCLA, the rate is even higher. Recipients can receive up to $5,000 to use toward program costs and related expenses, such as tuition and fees, room and board, books, local transportation, health insurance, international airfare, passport, visa costs. Personal expenses, such as clothing, entertainment, electronics, are not eligible. Students can apply the scholarship toward a fall, spring, summer, winter term, or academic year term. The award amounts will vary depending on student need, strength of the application, and program cost. So what is the eligibility to apply for the Gilman? To be eligible for the Gilman Scholarship, you must be a U.S. citizen. You must be an undergraduate student in good condition. You must be receiving a federal Pell Grant, either during the time of the application, or you can provide proof that you will be receiving the Pell Grant during the term you will be studying abroad or interning abroad. Also, you must be applying for a credit-bearing study abroad program in a country or area with an overall travel advisory level 1 or 2. And we will get into that on the next slide. Multi-country and multi-area programs are allowed. And the great thing is that Gilman now no longer has a minimum program length requirement. So if you're studying abroad for 3 or 4 weeks or longer, anytime you're abroad, you're eligible for this scholarship. One thing that is important to note, Gilman Scholarship recipients can only receive the scholarship once. So if a student previously declined the Gilman Scholarship, they are welcome to apply as long as they still meet the requirements. But once you receive the scholarship, you cannot apply again. So here's the travel advisory. If the country where you choose to study abroad is at level 3 or 4 only due to COVID-19 at the time of application, the Gilman program will still review your application. In the event that an applicant is selected for the Gilman Scholarship and the destination country is still at level 3 or 4 by the time of the program starts, then the recipient will be required to change their program or defer the award. These are the options that are considered eligible for virtual abroad programs. But keep in mind, all of them must be credit-bearing. You can take online courses at an institution based outside of the United States. You can enroll via direct enrollment through an exchange program or through a program provider. You can participate in a virtual faculty-led study abroad program. You can do a virtual international internship. You can also do virtual intensive language programs at an institution based outside of the United States, or you can also propose internationally focused virtual programs for review by the Gilman program staff. Virtual programs will be eligible for the Gilman Scholarship until summer 2022. So if you're planning to go abroad, or if you are planning to do a virtual study abroad program, you can do it throughout summer 2022. So let's talk about Gilman McCain and CNLA. The U.S. Department of State's Gilman McCain Scholarship provides awards of $5,000 for child dependents of active duty service members to study or intern abroad on credit-bearing programs. These are open to eligible students enrolled at accredited U.S. colleges and universities who receive any type of Title IV financial aid. So you don't need to be receiving just the Pell Grant. If one of your parents are part of the military, you can apply for the Gilman Scholarship and maybe be eligible for $5,000. And while the Gilman is up to $5,000, Gilman McCain is straight $5,000. To apply, you will use the online Gilman McCain application, and you will be required to upload a copy of your military dependent ID. Applicants who are studying a critical need language in a country in which the language is predominantly spoken can apply for a supplemental award up to $3,000. And this is the Critical Need Language Award, or CNLA. So if you're applying for the Gilman Scholarship and you are going to be learning one of the languages that are showing here on this slide, you can submit an additional essay and be eligible for the Critical Need Language Award. So instead of you being eligible to receive up to $5,000, you will be eligible to receive up to $8,000, depending on the strength of your application. Grace is going to be talking about the application process, but I just wanted to bring your attention to 2 points. The online application asks for study abroad or internship program details, 3 essays, an additional 4th essay if you're applying for the CNLA, and the official or unofficial transcript. But the application also requires applicants to select a study abroad advisor and a financial advisor to complete a certification of your program. So just keep in mind, it's not just you applying, you do need to have the study abroad advisor and the financial aid advisor also certifying your application. So what is the selection criteria? There are 4 main topics that they will look at when selecting a student to receive the Gilman Scholarship. One of them is the impact of program and destination on students' academic and career trajectory. So a successful applicant will demonstrate a coherent link between their proposed program abroad activities and their future academic or career plans, as well as personal development goals. The second item is community impact abroad and upon students' return home. Keep in mind that study abroad is a form of diplomacy. And if you are a Gilman Scholar, you are going to be representing the United States as citizen diplomats in the host community. So you're expected to contribute to the goal of building mutual understanding by sharing what it means to be an American and also learning about the host culture and building meaningful relationships. And upon your return to the United States, you will have the opportunity to inspire the next wave of students to study or intern abroad through the required follow-on service project. And Grace is also going to be talking about that a little bit more. The third item is academic preparedness. So you must demonstrate that you have the academic preparedness needed to gain benefit from a study abroad or internship program. So maybe you can disclose any significant challenges that you have faced during your academic career, discuss how they will be academically, how you will be academically successful on your program abroad. Keep in mind that academic performance is important, even though there is no minimum GPA, but they will look into your grades on your major, in the courses that are related to your major. And the last one is diversity of background and experience. So the program supports students who have been historically underrepresented in education abroad. So knowledge, skills, personal experiences are all considered in the context of the overall impact the proposed abroad program will have on you. So make sure you mention any diversity, all the details, anything that is unique about you, because they want to make sure that underrepresented groups in education abroad have priority for the Gilman Scholarship. And if you are applying for the additional scholarship for the critical need language, you will need to submit an additional essay and explain how the language is going to be important as well for your program and your career. Let's take a look at some dates and timelines. So there are two deadlines to keep in mind. There is the application, what they say, the October deadline and the March deadline. So the October deadline application just closed on October 5th, so just a week ago. And for students that will be going abroad starting May 2022 until April 2023, the next application process will open mid-January. So starting mid-January, you will have the chance to apply for the Gilman Scholarship until March 2022. Besides the financial benefit, you will also be receiving some alumni benefit. So let's talk about some of them. When you become a Gilman Scholar and have completed your follow-on service project within 6 months after you return home, you get to have access to many different benefits and opportunities. The first one is the non-competitive eligibility. So alumni of the Gilman program are eligible for 12 months of non-competitive eligibility hiring status with the federal government. It allows U.S. federal government agencies to hire eligible exchange program alumni outside the formal competitive job announcement process. Gilman alumni can also compete for certain federal employment jobs that are open only to federal employees. It is a benefit that basically allows Gilman alumni to jump to the front of the application line when applying for certain federal jobs. It does not guarantee you a job, but it makes it much easier to be hired. The next one, the Gilman Scholar Network. The Gilman Scholar Network is the official site for Gilman scholars and alumni to connect with one another. So the Gilman Scholar Network also gives Gilman scholars and alumni access to exclusive job postings, and Gilman events. Another one is Gilman Alumni Ambassador Program. So this is a program where you can serve for 1 year as official representatives of the U.S. Department of State's Gilman International Scholarship Program. So you provide testimonials about your Gilman scholarship experiences at campus presentations, and offer like application tips via written articles, videos, webinars, and special events. The other one is seminars and career workshops. These events are available to all Gilman scholars and alumni to network and connect with other alumni. These workshops are also a great place to learn about the many career opportunities. And of course, when you go abroad, you learn new skills such as adapting to change, learning a new language, how to communicate with others, and much more. So besides the financial benefit that you will be receiving from the Gilman and the rich experience, you have a lot of benefits as a Gilman scholar. And now Grace is going to be talking about the application process, and she is going to give you also some personal tips on the application process and the follow-up service.
So I'm going to just be walking you through the step-by-step application process. The first thing you're going to want to do is make an account on the Gilman website. It's gilmanscholarship.org. When you're there, there'll be a tab on the top of the screen that says Apply Now. And from there, you're able to create the account. The main part of the application is the 3 essays. So the first essay is called the Statement of Purpose. And they want to know, why are you studying abroad and what you hope to gain from the experience and the specific program that you're applying for. The second essay is the Building Mutual Understanding essay, and they want to know, how will you represent and share what it means to be American during the program. As Wilsey mentioned, when you are studying abroad as a Gilman Scholar, you will be a citizen diplomat representing the United States, and they want to know how you will facilitate cross-cultural exchange between yourself and the people in the country you are visiting. And finally, there's the follow-on service project proposal. So part of the Gilman Scholarship is completing a project upon return from your program that will promote international education and the Gilman Scholarship. So they want to know what you plan to do. It can be presenting at information sessions. It can be creating materials that can be used to promote the program. So they just want to know what you plan to do and how you plan to implement it. After you've written your essays, you will upload your transcripts, and they accept both official or unofficial transcripts for the application. You will then input the program information, just the name of the program, the dates, what you will be studying. And then you will select your advisors, both their study abroad advisor and the financial aid advisor. And then you are ready to submit your application. Once it's been submitted, your advisors will certify it, and then your application is complete and ready to be reviewed. So just have some tips for applicants. You want to be aware of the dates because as Wilsey showed, there are multiple cycles and multiple deadlines per cycle. So you want to keep aware of them so you know when dates are coming up. I definitely recommend starting on your application early. The essays are very important and you want to give yourself enough time to really think about what you want to say and enough time to plan your service project. And when you are planning your follow-on service project, I highly recommend reaching out to advisors and professors. Not only can they give you a better idea of what the program entails, so you're able to understand what you want to gain from the program better, but they are often very willing to help you promote your follow-on service project. And then you will be able to say that you are working with this department or these professors to complete the project. And then the Gilman website is very helpful, and they have a lot of other resources as well. They have very specific advice on how to approach each essay and what they're looking for. They also have the selection criteria that was shown earlier on their website for you to go over again. And they also have a YouTube channel, which with short videos that show, walk you through how to write the essays, and they also can show you how to navigate the Gilman portal as well. So just a little bit about my experience with Gilman. The Gilman staff are very ready and willing to help you. There's a phone line you can call, and also an email if you have any questions. I found that I preferred emailing them because you receive email responses very quickly, at the latest within 24 hours, but usually just within a few hours. However, they are on East Coast time, so you want to keep that in mind when you're waiting for a response. The application itself is very straightforward. They're very clear about what they're looking for, and there's not a lot of difficult to fulfill components. And just to go a little bit more in depth about the alumni benefits, in addition to the things that were previously mentioned, you get a newsletter emailed to you that has so much information and opportunities. They tell you about seminars that you can attend. Currently, they're holding a series of seminars on US foreign policy. And they also have a lot of information about fellowships that can be used to fund graduate programs. There are webinars that you can attend, both new ones that are held live or ones that were in the past that are pre-recorded that you can watch. And then finally, they have graduate school opportunities. So there are certain graduate programs that for Gilman alumni offer scholarships or tuition reduction, which is a wonderful opportunity and can really make graduate school more affordable. So now we have some time for some questions. You can go ahead and type your questions into the Q&A function.